This just might be the last video of 2020 for me. And I figure it would be good to talk about something that I feel is important and worth talking about. And what that is what you're seeing online and manifest in real life, which is the divestment movement, not only by black women, but also by black men. Okay, I want to talk about this for a minute, and I want to talk about what this is about, and I want to talk about why a lot of these things are happening. Okay, so in this regard of divestment, we're talking about black people who are basically saying, look, I don't want to have anything to do with black culture, with black American culture in particular, right? And you see this conversation a lot happen amongst black women, right? And what they're basically saying is that, look, we're tired of black culture. We don't want to have anything to do with it. And we're going to start focusing our attention on black women and on other things, right? Our own success, our own longevity, etc. And it's kind of strange. It's interesting to me because it's almost as if these people think that there's not a healthy way to be black. Like you can't formulate or come up with a strategy to be successful while holding on to or creating your own version of what it means to be a black person. So instead you say, you know what, forget all of this. I'm going to completely remove myself from this table. I'm going to go to where I think the pastures are greener, okay? And I'm going to focus my attention there. And perhaps it's like a survival instinct. I'm not sure what you would call it. But that's what people are doing. And, it's crazy to me. And before I tell you guys what I think about this, I want to tell you guys a story about a moment that I had, a similar moment, okay? And I'm going to give you guys the skinny version of this, all right? So years and years ago, before I had this revelation that I'm meant for a black woman only, I had this moment where I was dating this, Caucasian girl, and long story short, we had never been intimate, but she wanted to become intimate with me, and a time happened, an event happened where she was really trying to get me to get physically involved with her in that area, in that regard. And my flesh was ready to go. Like my flesh was saying, do that. But in my spirit was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that there. And that's when I pretty much knew that an interracial relationship, at least with a Caucasian woman, was not for me. Okay. Now, I think that the majority of black people have similar mentalities when it comes to interracial relationships in general. I think that the majority of black women are just not at all interested in being with a non-black man. Okay. And excuse me for the camera shaking, but this is going to be good. So I don't think the majority of black women are even interested in that. Okay. But what you are seeing, and this is the reason why I'm talking about this, is that there has been an increased interest, I think, over time. And let me give you an example. So when you think about even TV shows like Princess and the Frog, the first black Disney princess, she didn't marry a black man, right? When you think about the show Scandal, which for a long time was one of the most popular shows amongst black women, you see this push in the media towards interracial relationships for black people, but you also see this fascination by black people towards interracial relationships. There's an affinity, there's a special place in the heart of a lot of black people for interracial relationships. And I think that this is a large part of what is encouraging this divestment movement, okay? So, what I will say about this is that I think it's kind of childish, if you ask me personally, because at the end of the day, we are in control of our own destiny. We are. We, each and every one of us as black people, African-American people, wherever black person you are from, whatever country you're from, we are in control of our own destiny, right? So you have to look at this logically. First of all, for the women who are saying, black men are trash, or, for the black men who are saying black women are trash, you have to think about it like this. If you objectively believe that the majority of white men are better than the majority of black men, if you believe that, then objectively you're a racist. Okay, objectively, like that is the definition of racism. When you just believe this group of people are just better. They're just better. They're just more this. Like as if those positive attributes don't exist amongst your own demographic of people. And if I were white and I saw black women who thought like this, I'd be laughing at y'all. And I'd be any, meeny, miny, mo, picking out which one of y'all I want to use for sex tonight or the next night. Because clearly you're a stupid bimbo and you've already pre-programmed yourself to put the white man on a pedestal. So it's going to be easy as hell to do whatever the hell I want to do with you. You're already proving to me that you're stupid, and you've been brainwashed. Like you are the person upholding white supremacy. That's the reality. Like it's not like it's because here's the thing, right? If I deal with a couple of ratchet black girls and I come to the conclusion that all black girls are ratchet, that makes me stupid. Okay, because that's simply not the case. That means that the people that I have allowed myself to be involved with were like that, but not necessarily that black women in general are that way. Now, there's my truth, okay, or your truth, and then there's the truth. And those things are oftentimes separate things. They're not necessarily, your truth is not necessarily the truth, okay? That's your personal experience. And you're entitled to your personal experience the same way you're entitled to your personal opinion. But it doesn't mean that that is the actual truth, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, every year, 80-something% of black women who are getting married this year are gonna get married to black men. Like 86%, 85% of black men. They're marrying black men and they're gonna be happy in doing that, okay? And the majority of black men are gonna be doing the exact same thing. So that's just food for thought, something to keep in mind. Now, an interesting statistic about this, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out of here. The interesting statistic about interracial relationships, particularly with black women and white males, is that they have some of the lowest rates of divorce. And I pondered on why I thought this was the case. Again, I reject the notion that these white men are just objectively better. I think there's a little bit of predisposal on the part of black women to look up to, what they consider like the top of the food chain to be, which predominantly is like white males. So in other words, just like in the days of slavery, right? You had these black women who, they looked at being a bedwench as an increase in their status. So in other words, leaving their own people to go to the master's house or to go to some place where they could go sleep with, the white man or whoever had a little bit more power and money. She considered that to be a step up. Okay. Y'all have to understand that not every black woman who was giving birth to mulatto children back in the days of slavery was raped. Okay. A lot of these women, I don't say a lot, but I'm sure enough of these women were out here, they wanted to lay up with the white man. Like that's basically what it was. That's why look at Scandal. Look at how popular the show Scandal is, okay? Y'all have to understand the psychology behind this. And see, that's the thing about, like the white culture, the white man, white society, is that they're masters in manipulation. Y'all got to understand that they're masters in brainwashing. Like they know how to program you. And I think they're doing a fantastic job of programming the weak, the sheep, and causing y'all in some senses to loathe after what they have. So rather than black people trying to, uplift themselves and pull themselves up by the bootstraps and figure out what it is that we're supposed to be doing to make our situation better for ourselves, as the song by Linkin Park say, it's easier to run. It's easier to divest. Sure, I could do that too. But guess what? I'm a person of honor, man. I'm a person of integrity. I'm a person of dignity. And I tell you one thing that, listen, there's no honor or dignity in running from your own situation, right? It's just like if I was overweight, which 4 out of 5, according to studies, they say 4 out of 5 black American women are overweight or obese. Running from the fact that you're obese and being in denial of all the problems is not going to fix the problem. The only way you fix that problem is getting your big, healthy behind up and changing your eating habits and heading to the gym, doing what you need to do. Find yourself a good, positive personal trainer who can keep you motivated, right? That's how you defeat that problem. So when you see high rates of illiteracy, when you see the high rate of single parenthood, when you see ghetto ratchet behavior amongst black people, the things that make black people want to divest, when you see these things, it takes good black people who are on the side of righteousness and truth to come forth with some solutions, to come forth with some ideas, to come forth with some businesses, some organizations, some actual solutions solutions to solve some of these problems, right? Some networks, like allow people to network who have a similar mindset so that we can get a leg up on some of these issues in our community. Okay, just running to the suburbs and running to the arms of a non-black person is not the solution to your problems. And what I was saying from the beginning was that you have to understand interracial relationships will never solve the problems that black people face. Because you have to think about it like this. If every black person got into an interracial relationship, right, then what you're gonna have is a generation of like people who are basically a couple of generations from complete destruction. Okay, y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to understand the truth of it, but that's just the reality of what it is. Like, there's a lot of problems with regards to that and why that's not the solution. Now, again, love don't know a nationality. Love doesn't understand color. And guess what? I agree 100% with that, right? I can fall head over heels in love for a whatever type race of woman, okay? Yes, love does not have a color. Love does not have a nationality. Love does not have an ethnicity, okay? The Bible says God is love, right? Respect and all praise. But sweetie, honey boo-boo, whatever you want to call yourself, you do have a color. You do have a nationality. You do have an ethnicity. Your people do have a history. You see, what black people practice is self-rejection. That's what we practice. That's what's been practiced in American society since the days of slavery. Destroy black people's culture completely, give them no culture, make them a lost people. The only culture that they will look up to due to that is the white power establishment that is already in existence. You know, it's black people who built the White House. Black people built the White House. Remember that. Black people are maintaining these things that are going on. This white supremacist philosophy that's in this world. A lot of black people are maintaining it. And divestment is one way in which you see that manifest, okay? Because rather than somebody say, okay, what solutions can we have to solve these problems so that we can continue to do well? You know, some of these women are so bold on the internet to say, you know, to talk all this trash about black men and things like that. And it's so crazy because still, 85% of black women are still marrying black men. So the majority of black women are showing you what they're into and what they really want. You see what I'm saying? So don't buy into this idea that there's no such thing as good black men or that black men are this or black men are that. That's crazy talk, y'all. That's crazy talk. It's a narrative pushed by losers. It's a narrative pushed by women who are bitter. You understand me? Bitter by some of the experiences that they have had in the past. Okay, now just understand that that's your personal experience. That's not the experience of every black woman. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth, y'all. Now, we know a lot of black men fetishize after these non-black women. We know that happens a lot as well, too. You know, and it starts early, you know, and there's programming through the media, different things like that happens. But one thing I will say is, see, I live in a community where, like, I'm in a majority black community, like, kind of like in the turf, because I purchased, not the turf, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's a decent area, but there's some, you know what I mean? There's some roughnecks around here. But what I'm saying is, what I hear the younger black men say, and I say men, but they're actually boys, right? What I hear them say with regards to black girls is that it has nothing to do with the color of black girls' skin. It have everything to do with what I hear them say is that, you know, like the attitudes, like they're mean and this and that. And I say that this is what, because I mentor young black boys who are 14, 15 years old. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes younger. And we talk about everything, including girls. And when you hear what they say about, you know, the black girls that they know, some of their sisters, et cetera, these are the things that they're saying, okay? It's never like, oh, she black, I don't like her. Like, no, you hear them talk about the behavior of some of these women, right? And because, again, men think logically, right? And so I think that when it comes to these types of discussions and conversations, I think that it's helpful for women, more so than men, to talk to other women about their behavior. Because it seems like when a man is talking to a woman about her behavior, that man is automatically looked at as like some abusive person, right? But again, you don't get enough women scrutinizing the behavior of women, right? So how often do you see a black mother correct her daughter for disrespecting her brother? How often do you see a black mother correcting her daughter for being disrespectful to other boys in the neighborhood, teaching her how to be a woman and things of that sort? And it doesn't happen. So what these boys, all these boys really see is this crazy ratchet ass black girl with this terrible attitude, like yelling, screaming, fighting, acting like one of the boys, like acting worse than one of the boys. Like, Like they're a female and a male wrapped in one. You know, it's crazy. And so these are the things that I observe. Now, again, I observe some ratchet ass behavior from some of these younger black boys too. But those are not my boys. And I try to talk to them and help them as well too. But all I'm saying is the black community have problems, y'all. We have problems. A lot of our intelligent black girls are terribly disrespectful. You know, so you could see a black girl, she could be a six-figure entrepreneur and be disrespectful as hell. You wonder why she can't have a functional relationship with a black man. And then you see her success and you say, oh, you know, a black man will be lucky to have her, but you don't know what's going on in her heart. You don't know this girl mean as hell. She mean, rude, all types of other things, right? Not wife material. You can't go buy a husband. Okay, you can't, your business and your six-figure income, your entrepreneurship, that's not going to help you get a husband. Okay, so we've got issues, okay? And then these little ratchet little black boys, you know, they need their asses whooped. They need a man in their life. They need a real dad in their life to step up and teach their little asses to get on their best behavior and start acting right. So it's going to take each one of us being real and being honest and being objective about our situation and coming up with solutions, if you ask me. I'm not at this point of throwing in the towel. Why? Because I believe in love. I said I believe in love, okay? And I believe that we as black people are here for a purpose. And our purpose, in part, has to be to lift each other up. We have to be able to help one another and show these other nations what we really made of. I'm talking about education, business, financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? All of the above, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to provide solutions to the challenges that we face in our communities. And as individual entrepreneurs, as individual, whoever you are, even if you got a job, you're a regular person, whatever you are, each one got to teach one. Everybody got to have a spirit of pride and a spirit of taking ownership of your surroundings to the point where you're not going to allow the cycle of dysfunction to continue. You want to be the generation to break the cycle of dysfunction, not the generation to perpetuate it. So I want to talk about this divestment movement. I'm tired of you. First and the last thing I'm going to say before I get out of here, I'm tired of you weak ass black men out here, all this, you know, loathing after these non-black women all the time. I'm tired of y'all. I'm just being completely honest. I'm tired of it. You know, I understand the current behaviors of a lot of black women, okay? I understand the obesity and all these other things that's going on with black women. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is, look, man, y'all going to have to figure out a different approach other than just lifting up these non-black women, period. I'm tired of you. I'd rather see y'all try to help black women than sit up here and spend all your time loathing after and putting all these non-black women on the pedestal. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? It just makes things worse. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about what you feel certain black women need to do without putting other races of women on pedestals, because you showing your own weakness as well too, because a lot of times these other races of women do the same things that black women be doing, but y'all don't scrutinize them the same. Okay, in other words, you'll let this Latina girl get away, like a Latina girl have a toe-up attitude, and you'll think that's cute or sexy. But when the black girl do it, you over here acting super judgmental, et cetera, et cetera. Like, nah, bro, you got double standards going on. You got self-worth issues, for real. That's what's really going on. You got fetishes. Let's stop capping. You just got a fetish, period. So, I'm tired of that. I'm really sick and tired of that, because y'all make us as black men look like, I'm gonna say weak, but it is kind of weak, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, act like you black, man. Stop acting like you not black, nigga. Stop acting like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your daughters, you give birth to a child like she not gonna be black. She gonna be black, stupid. Like, stop playing like your mama's not black. Like, stop it, bro. You know, come with solutions, bro. Not just talking about problems. All I got to say about it, man. So, hey, all I'm gonna say about it is this, man. I got a good feeling about 2021. You hear me? 2020 been a beautiful year, and I pray y'all 2021 be blessed. Pimo, aka Jade, aka Truth Unfiltered, man. And I'm checking out on y'all.